I'm ready. Are you ready?
Ready, we ready.
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 It was one of the only ones in the country that wasn't based on a kind of Renaissance categories of art like sculpture, drawing, painting, glass. And so when there were new technologies that were developed, it was the natural place for those to get a home. So there was this new thing called video art, that before that, the only way you shot video was in a television studio. And so when there were camcorders and things that people could use to make art, at Mass Art we had SIM. So the original video department was actually just that you became SIM major. And the same thing happened with computers. When people were trying to figure out a way to incorporate computers in making artwork, the first computers at Mass Art in fine arts were in SIM.
SIM was about ideas and about freedom.
You know, at the time, they always said that SIM was the philosophy department of Mass Art.
I put outside the office door what I said was the philosophy of the department when I started, and that was shared experience creates community.
And it incorporated everything. Some dance techniques, some improvisation, some composition choreography. You know, it was like this sort of potpourri.
I was asked to be on a committee to find a new president, and I found them Jack Nolan. So I put him on the agenda, and he became the president of Mass Art. Well, in that role, he had seen us form the Zone group and came to the first Zone performance at Brandeis. I want you to bring what you're doing here in the Zone group into the college because there's nothing like it there. This is the end of the 20th century, and there's technology there for art making. Like audio synthesizers are beginning to come in. Film had gotten very sophisticated. Television was coming in. He said, I want you to bring light, movement, and all that in and make a program. I had an aversion to autocratic teachers because my father was that way. So it spoiled me for teachers that were really good because I saw them as the authority figure. Oh, yeah. It maybe helped with designing SIM too, because I felt that I wasn't going to be an authority figure. We were all authority figures.
And he wanted people to have access to everything. He didn't want students to be limited to certain mediums. You want to use grass, use grass. You want to use lights and sound and paint, then do that.
I was impressed with the influence that seemed to be in SIM from Harris of A.S. Neal's Summerhill School. So the Summerhill School had this philosophy that students were not force-marched through structured time that was called things like algebra or history. but people could just follow the thing that they were passionate about. And if you were staring out a window and you were interested in clouds, Neil would work with these students and say, what are you interested in about clouds? What is a cloud? And then you'd find out what's the difference between cumulus and nimbus. And eventually you would, if you followed that thread, you'd come to algebra and history and everything else that you might need by following through on the thing that you were interested in.
I work very hard to protect the opportunity for our students to struggle through not knowing what they're supposed to do. And I think that is one of the single most important aspects of this program, because it's a non-hierarchical program. Being thrown into a kind of a chaotic situation and having to think on your own feet.
I've learned more from you guys in the last 3 months than I learned in high school and all that other stuff.
That's my name. I said it badly. You said all that I said before me. I didn't say as good as he just said.
My name is Steven Spencer. I am class of 2022 SIM. I think the most exciting department at the school, actually.
This year I am a junior and I have been managing the Godian Gallery.
I am Max Ryan. I am a junior in SIM. I am currently in one of the many facilities that SIM has to offer, particularly this one. We are in the SIM sound studio.
It's been really an important year just because, you know, everyone's coming back from like COVID, and for the first time ever, people are really excited and people are really in need of interaction and community, and SIM is really, I think, more than any other department shouldering that responsibility.
Just taking all of the SIM elective classes and seeing what they had to offer and just getting so many different perspectives on craft and materials.
Just learning collaboration and learning what it means to share art and also share responsibility and not just put it on myself, but actually trust other people and learn that actually makes a lot better work.
I adore the SIM program for what it is. I'm, really motivated in what I want to do, and I have a really clear vision for where I want to take my work. And SIM allows me to be my, truest self and really, dive into what I'm really passionate about without any limitations and with the support of faculty and collaborators and my fellow peers.
At the time, I was really interested in making work about race and whiteness and experience of Black people in America. And I was focused sort of on this history of like Jim Crow era imagery and all of that kind of stuff. So the performance that I gave, I had been kind of working towards this like larger thesis project called Little Black Topsy and the Magical White Fairy Soap. It was interesting to kind of put it together because I've been working on these individual performance pieces and trying to find a way to kind of bring them all together into one like evening length performance work. They had a very kind of physical aspect of it, kind of really movement inspired works. And they sort of were like difficult. I was really into making like uncomfortable work that was like uncomfortable and shocking to people, or, just made them feel their feelings.
I was having lunch with one of the guys I've worked with closely. He said, "So what did you do in this major of yours in college?" And I described this thing. And I said, the dance folks did something, sound worked with something else. The guys that built the sets worked, and the lighting guys did this and this. And And we'd get together and talk about it every now and then and make sure we're all on the same track and the same page. And he gives me this funny look. And I said, what? He says, that's what you do today. That's what you're doing today. You've got all these departments. There were like 6 departments reporting to me that knew much more about technology than I did. But I'd get them together every now and then and we'd figure out, okay, how are we doing on this? How's this? And same stuff.
What did SIM at MassArt mean to me? So many things. I first have to call out just the growing and building my love and appreciation for art. I always think back to the learning of how to receive and give feedback in a constructive way, and the biggest one for me, just the learning, the constant journey of who I am in the world.
In reference to your first question about what SIM did for me, a lot of that was production planning, like how to put on a show, and all of, managing all the various aspects of putting something like that together. I still use all of those skills to this day. I do design, install, and management of, large estate properties.
But there is one thing that was like life-changing for me. When there was the time we had to have a solo show at the Duran Gallery. So what I started to do was to ask my classmates to join me and start collaborating in a space, in a gallery setting. And that was actually the beginning of my curatorial career.
I work for Netflix. I oversee their content innovation team. Any new formats, my team was responsible for Black Mirror Bandersnatch. So basically, like, how can you innovate within Netflix's framework? I love my job.
So it was really great. I mean, I had a really interesting experience there. I think it definitely set me on the path that I'm on right now. And I learned so much about just like organizing, about producing things, about working with other people, and just how to make things happen from nothing, which is not that's like not a small skill. I think not everybody has that skill, and that's something I definitely began learning in SIM. So I think it's a beautiful place to sort of like learn how to realize things, how to bring things into fruition.
We could walk the line by and by, but I'll cross it. You gave me all the hope I could ever dream for, but I lost it. I'll be fine. What I am is what I never was. He was my only angel, and he saved me. He woke me from my bed and nails drove to save what I